How's it on?
Yep.
Oh, it's on. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Talks with Jody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Hit that notification bell to stay updated with the latest content. Let's go. Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Astro Talks with Caylin. Caylin, welcome.
Hi, happy to be back.
Yes, I'm happy to have you again. Yes, the reason why we're talking about astrology is I know this is your baby, this is your specialty, and I know you can give a bit more clarity or like a basic understanding to a lot of people at home who don't know, like the different star signs, what are they about? Because I have this conversation with people daily. There's so much that people don't know.
Yes.
So I'm hoping this episode will just give a bit of a basic understanding of things.
Yes.
So let's start there. The star signs. Let's start at the star signs. So let's start from the beginning.
Okay, so basically what I'll be discussing is Western astrology because there's I think about 7 different forms of astrology, like Vedic and
yes.
I don't know much about those, but Western is kind of like the westernized form of astrology, which we all know, which is basically how you know your own star signs. So either Aquarius, Capricorn, Leo, or basically what most people talk about is Western astrology. Okay. And so we have 12. We have, should I name them all? Or?
No, you can. We can even go from the dates because then people might even pick up that's me. So let's start from, was it December?
So specific dates I can't recall in my head, but I can give you kind of the more or less the month. So let's start from the beginning of the year. So from about the end of December to the beginning of January, that's Capricorn. Then you have from the end of January to mid-February, that is Aquarius. From mid-February to mid-March, that is Pisces. And then going forward, that's Aries. So the end of March to
April.
Mid-April. Then from mid-April to May, that is Taurus.
Yes.
And then after Taurus, you have Gemini.
The current season.
Yes, currently in Gemini season.
Whenever this episode comes out, but
to
when we're talking
June is Gemini, yes. And then from mid-June to mid-July, that's Cancer. And then after Cancer is Leo. So
end of
July to mid-August. And then after Leo, from August to end of August to mid-September, that is Virgo.
Yes.
And then from there, it's Libra.
Yes.
From the end of September to mid-October. And then you have Scorpio in October to November. And then from November to mid-December is Sagittarius.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's 12 of those, and each of those kind of star signs kind of represent how you view yourself. Yes. So basically in astrology, we have 3 placements that are very important. So you have your sun, your moon, and your rising.
Let's talk about it. Let's start with sun. What is the sun?
Your sun, which is your birth date, is basically how you view your personality, how you view yourself, and that's how kind of you view the world.
Okay.
And then your moon sign is your emotions. So that can be in a very completely different sign to your sun sign, which is like what people know you as. Yes. So you can have, like me, I have an Aquarius sun with a Taurus moon. Aquarius is very different to Taurus, but that's how I understand my emotions. And then rising is how you dawn on others, how others view you, which can be very different to your sun sign, which is how you view yourself.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense. So sun is yourself, moon is your personality.
Moon is your emotions.
And then rising is how others view you.
How others view your personality, not how you view your personality.
Okay.
So it can be two very completely different things.
And I think that's also what people do not understand, where they think their sun is just everything about them, where they think,
yes,
but I'm a Leo, but I'm not like that about a Leo. But they
exactly.
forget about all these.
If you don't know your natal chart, you won't really know. For example, these meme pages where they're like, all Virgos are perfectionists, and there may be a Virgo that has like a very chill moon, which could be maybe a Libra moon, a bit more calm, and then they'll be like, okay, this meme, I do not relate to that, but you just don't know your whole entire natal chart.
Okay, so natal chart, so what is the definition of a natal chart? What is a natal chart?
A natal chart is basically the time you were born, the city you were born in, and your date of birth. You can find those charts online. For example, I love time passages. A lot of people like using the app CoStar.
Okay.
So you type that in and it will formulate a natal chart. And on that natal chart, you have like 12 different houses. And within those houses, you have planets. And with that, you kind of get an understanding of who you really are based on the planets.
Wow.
Yeah. So the more you know about your natal chart, the more you actually understand why certain things have happened in life and who you are, which is crazy.
That's interesting. That actually, I'm actually going to ask you later on, like the FAQs, like frequently asked questions, and I think that does come up in there.
Okay.
But yeah, just going back to the basic understanding, like we said, the sun, the moon, and the rising. So let's dive in a bit into each star sign, just to give people just a basic understanding. So let's start at the beginning, Capricorn. Okay. We mentioned the star signs and their months. So let's actually go into each one of the 12. So let's start at Capricorn. What's Capricorn known for?
Capricorns are usually known for being... we have... How can I explain this? There's different forms. Each zodiac can be grouped into 4 different elements.
Yes.
So you have air, you have earth, you have fire, and you have water.
Yes.
And Capricorn is earth. So earth is all about materialistic aspects and money and wealth, and that is their driving force. So like you'll know a lot of Capricorns that love working because their driving force is money, material wealth.
Okay.
Then we get to Aquarius, which is air.
Yes.
And that is all about a bit more freedom, a bit more authenticity. Aquarians are known for being humanitarians. They care a lot about other people. Yes. A great example is Oprah. She's an Aquarius.
Okay, wow.
So she
strong example.
Loves people.
Yeah.
And that's a great... I can give examples of celebrities that come to mind, if I remember. Yes. And then we have Pisces. Pisces, they are very intuitive.
Yes.
If you know a Pisces, you know that they are probably having a dream about you or about their lives.
Big dreamers.
Their dreams are way more interesting than living life.
Yes.
Like all my Pisces friends, they're like, Caylin, I dreamt last night I went overseas, like a full-on like experience. Yes. Ask a Pisces. But they're also known for being so intuitive and so in touch with like other realms and like dimensions that like they kind of, some people see them as like they've lost touch with reality. So they can be quite misunderstood
true.
in that way.
True.
But they're water, so very
Yeah, water
emotional.
sign. Yes. Emotional.
Yes.
It's funny, like the Pisces people that I know, they'll never admit that they're emotional, but you can just you see it.
Oh,
They-
yes.
They show it, but they don't.
They-
yeah.
Because they're known for being so emotional, I think a lot of Pisces are like, I would say they're not always happy that that's only what they're known
What
for. They're known for
yes.
so many other things. And they're
No.
so interesting. Pisces are very interesting.
Yes.
Yes.
Like you said, it's very creative. Like, you know, they're dreamers, but
Yes.
just having that sort of mindset is crazy. What
It's
they think,
crazy.
what they think about, and how they think about things.
Yes.
Yes.
And then we have, after Pisces, we have Taurus.
No, Pisces. Then. Is it
Aries. Sorry.
It's fine. That's not a problem. Aries.
So Aries, they fire.
Fire.
If you know an Aries, how kind of they dawn on others, they're known for being kind of the childlike ones, where some people are like, wow, you are childish, but it's just like we know one or two. But it's just like that's the way they navigate, the way they express themselves. They're very like, but they can get quite angry. They're known for getting angry, because they're so passionate and so fiery, and and then we have Taurus. So Taurus is also an earth sign, which is the bull. Yes. But Taurus, they're a bit of a more grounded earth sign. So a lot of Taurus or Taurus placements, if you have it within your natal chart, they're known for being obviously hard workers, striving for that material wealth, but they're also grounded. So they have this sensuality that a Capricorn or another earth sign, Virgo, may not have.
Okay.
They're more, it's a very feminine earth sign, which I think is, I find it so beautiful. A lot of earth placements are very alluring, they're very calming, but they're always achieving their goals in like such a beautiful way.
Yeah. What I was also going to ask you, just correct me if I'm wrong, another word that comes to mind when I think of Taurus people based on my experience with Taurus is loyalty.
Oh my word, that's amazing. That's amazing that you knew that. They are all about loyalty.
Yes.
Literally, to a point where it might for some look a bit possessive, but
no, but
they're loyal.
When they're part of something, or
when they're part of something, you know, that's where the grounding comes in. Oh, another word for them is stability. They're all about stability. So they won't be chopping and changing their ideas every 5 seconds. Like if they want something, they'll stick to it.
I like that. Taurus, and then from Taurus we go to, is it Gemini?
Yes. So Gemini, which is also an earth sign. So they're known for being all over the place because they're ruled by like two energies. So Geminis are known for being two-faced, but that's only because they're just very busy. They're known for being busy and adventurous and they rule the Mercury, which rules the mind and communication. Okay. So a lot of Geminis work in journalism, or they could be like TV reporters, or you might even have Gemini placements. I can't remember.
No, it's not me, no.
But
I know a lot of Gemini people.
A lot of Geminis are great at writing. They're great at words, expressing through communication. Yes. But they are complete opposite to Taurus, where it's like they may not be as loyal because it's like they're so busy.
But
it's not about stability with Gemini. I'm sorry, Gemini, but I'm just being honest.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, no disrespect to Gemini. Geminis are known for a few things. You know you are. But it is what it is. And you know, like history, I think.
No shade to star signs. Just our opinion. Okay.
Yes, because look, don't get me wrong, Geminis are very much linked to Leos. That's why they're very compatible with Leos.
Yeah.
It's a good, I think, balance. Like I said, both likes adventures. So Geminis are very compatible, but there is a few things.
Yeah, they're just very busy, and I think that's
very
amazing
busy.
because they have so many interests that they go after,
Yes.
and you'll always learn something
They don't stick to
brand
one
new from a
thing.
Gemini.
They don't stick to
Yeah,
one thing. I
they
think that's
won't.
very,
They
very. It also becomes a problem. Like you said, you said, like
Yes.
you've compared Taurus. When they focus on something, they sit on that.
Yes.
Gemini's total
Yes.
opposite. They're busy everywhere.
So busy.
Yeah, and it becomes a problem. It
Yeah.
really does. And then from Gemini, we go into...
We have Cancer.
Cancer first, yes.
Yeah. So Cancer, they are known for being quite sensitive, but
And they hate that, eh?
they hate that. But the thing is, they are very private about their sensitivity. So a lot of Cancers, I don't know if I should mention this, but this is what I saw. If you Google it, you might even find it.
Okay.
This is just what I've seen online a lot. But there was like a rating about serial killers, and they were rated number 1.
Wasn't it Pisces? I know a lot of Pisces serial killers.
Number 1 was for
Pisces.
Cancer. Well, that's what I've seen quite a few times.
Okay, no, but that's interesting. Because one thing I've always checked is
it's water. They also water.
Oh, they also water. No, then it makes sense.
Yes.
It's all the water signs.
Very, very sensitive. Don't mess with water.
Because Pisces, I mean, if we talk about their intelligence, they're very creative. They're clever. So
very clever.
So
is Cancer.
You see.
But Cancer, they usually, like, you can't really spot their sensitivity. It's all internal. So what do you think they're going to do? They're going to take action with their, like... So it
I
makes
actually want to
sense.
check that out. I actually want to check that list out because I will laugh that all those water signs are the top 3.
Honestly,
Think about it. I actually want to see that.
Watch out for water signs.
Watch out for water signs.
Okay, then after Cancer, we have Leo, which is your sign.
That's my sign.
Oh my gosh, Leo is actually such a good luck sign because I feel like a lot of celebrities from like Kim Kardashian
Barack Obama.
to Barack Obama. Kim Kardashian's not a Leo. She has Leo placements, and like just a lot of people, a lot of celebrities go on their charts. They have at least one placement that's Leo. It's it rules kind of your legacy and your career and popularity basically. So I find Leo people, they're known for being very into themselves, or that's how they dawn on others.
Agreed.
But they just care a lot about how people see them, and it could be their appearance or like their careers. They want to be known as successful and the best. Because Lion, Leo. And another cool thing about Leos is that the easiest way to spot a Leo, usually male Leos, is that check their tattoos. Like, I promise you, if you go to a party and you find out like some guy is a Leo, ask him to show you his first tattoo, and I bet you it's a lion. Like, it's crazy, or some form of Leo. Like, it's crazy.
Not my first, but
they're very proud.
I have Leo related tattoos. Yes, you're not wrong.
Leo is very proud. Like,
we are. We pride ourselves.
Leo actually opposes Aquarius in astrology because they're actually very similar with kind of how they go through life. Okay. I would say Aquarius can be pretty proud too, but like they trigger each other in that sense, where it's like, but it's very interesting.
It's funny you mention that because I think I don't know if it's I think it's my moon that's Aquarius, so I'm a Leo with Aquarius.
You can have a bit of overthinking there, or a bit of contradictions.
I do.
Because
big
of
overthinker.
those.
I'm a big overthinker, so that makes sense. And then.
Okay, then after Leo,
Virgo.
We have Virgo.
The perfectionist.
They're known for being perfectionists.
Yes.
So, a lot of Virgos, they also rule Earth, so all about material wealth, but they go for it making sure they're the best at what they do. Way more than a Capricorn or a Taurus. So a lot of Virgos that I know have their own businesses, or they're very successful. It's just because they can't go through life being anything less than perfect.
Yes.
And they may criticize how a different sign may do things because they believe their way is the best
Big,
way.
big crits.
Very
yes.
big crits.
Yes.
But a lot of them do overcome a lot of things, and they
You can't tell them, eh?
can't tell them, but they're really good at what they do, though.
They are.
They really are.
Oh.
And then after that, we have Libra.
I love
Libra.
Libras.
I'm not Libra, but I don't know why I'm doing that because Libra is known for beauty.
Beauty. Calm.
Beauty, calm, but also they are very indecisive. They're known for being indecisive, but they're known for being a very sensual, because Venus is ruled by Libra.
Okay.
So Venus, beauty, it's just, I'm sure you know at least one Libra that's probably very pretty, or like
Where they carry themselves.
the way they carry themselves, but they can never make a decision. They have so many options but they'll still choose the wrong option because they're so indecisive.
Oh.
No shade, Libra, but yeah, that's just my opinion.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Then we have Scorpio.
Oh,
Another everyone's favorite sign. They're water sign.
Yes.
And I'm sure you know, Scorpio is known for transformation. Okay, that is what they rule, and they're also ruled by death. So death can be in any way, but they overcome things that others can't really. What can affect you in a negative way, for them it can be like second nature. Like they know how to go through things, especially change and transformation, and that's where their power lies. A lot of Scorpios are incredibly strong, but they're also very intuitive because they are water placements. So if they haven't evolved or done the self work, there can be a lot of Scorpios that can be very toxic because they know so much. But then those evolved ones, wow, they are so powerful. And they're usually, I feel like, witches from past lives. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
Then we have, lastly, I think the 12th one, Sagittarius.
Fellow fire.
Yes. Oh my word, Sagittarius, they rule Jupiter, which is a very lucky planet. Oh my word. If you have Sagittarius within your natal chart, it basically screams good luck. And they also rule kind of higher education. So a lot of Sagittarians, you'll find out that they probably have like their master's or PhD in something, because that's what they rule. And a lot of Sagittarians travel a lot, or if they haven't traveled a lot, just like traveling within.
On the go, adventurous.
They're just very adventurous. Sagittarius males dating, good luck with that one. But Geminis and Sagittarius, they make a great match because they're both very busy, so they will help each other in that sense. But Sagittarius not as loyal as a Taurus. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, that's true. No, ironically, because Sagittarius, that's also in my chart. So I think I'm Aquarius moon. I think I'm a Sag rising.
Oh wow!
Cancer,
yeah, you're very busy.
Yeah, very busy. Always busy.
Very busy, but always traveling in some way, whether it's physically or mentally.
100%.
You're traveling. You have to be busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very difficult. Very odd chart, but
yeah.
If you think about it, like Leo.
It's very cool though. Leo, Aquarius,
Yes.
I really like those
Sag and
placements.
Cancer,
It's not bad at all. I think you will need, what you'll need in your life is to have that feeling of like freedom to be who you are, your authentic self, and like express yourself. And I think that's very important to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give myself that time and space just for me.
Yes.
Because like you said, I'm always busy, so I'm always trying to busy here and there and with people, but never for myself.
Yes, but I think too much time alone, I think you might get a bit bored. You do need people.
Which I do.
Even if you're an introvert, like I feel like if you have those air signs, you do need a bit of people. Things that are different.
Okay. And your side? Let's talk about what is your chart? So you spoke.
Oh.
So your sun
My sun is Aquarius, so humanitarian. I love people. I care about people. I want to save the world. I do have inner Oprah within me, and then my moon sign is Taurus.
So your emotions is Taurus.
Yes. So for me, for example, if I'm in love, I have to feel like I'm likely to have a partner that is loyal. For some reason, I read that on Time Passages. They're saying if you have a Taurus moon, you're likely to have quite a loyal partner, or that's how you pick them. I don't know.
That's interesting.
But that's also what you crave. You crave stability and that loyalty. And that drives your emotions, makes you feel a bit more stable and balanced. And then I have Aquarius, right? No, Gemini rising. Ugh, so busy. I know it's so contradicting because Taurus and Gemini. So I love an adventure, but like, for example, if I've been a bit too extroverted, I need that time to ground myself. So that's where the Taurus comes in. The recharge. Yeah.
Okay. So then what you do is then you normally like isolate for a bit just to...
Taurus, great. The way they ground, it's like walking in nature, being around trees and natural things because they're very grounding. So my emotions are very grounding. So, yeah.
And then, so do you use that time for yourself, or do you like do those sort of activities with somebody else?
With Taurus moons, I believe that we kind of have this natural instinct of knowing how to take care of our emotions. It's just like a second nature for Taurus moons.
Don't depend on anyone else.
You just know how to... I think also the mediator in families, they just love stability. They love grounding. Like, they don't like chaos. So if you meet someone that has a Taurus moon, just know they're gonna ground you or just make you feel calm and like, you know, yeah.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. Yeah. And of course, I actually also came prepared a bit for some questions, some FAQs, frequently asked questions. It's basically like questions on the internet that people ask, you know, to try and understand astrology. So let me start with the first one. Why is astrology pseudoscience?
Personally, I don't believe it's pseudoscience. Okay. Because I feel like there has been a big connection with like my life and how I feel like things literally happen. If you know how things are flowing within your chart. So pseudoscience is basically like fake science, not like the real science. But I feel like it's been studied for so many years. I don't know. I don't really agree with that. Okay.
That's good. No, that's something we're learning. I mean, obviously they're asking that question, but
a lot of people do not believe in astrology. So that is why it can fall as a pseudoscience.
Okay. Can astrology predict about the children, like their future?
Yes, definitely. The same way I can predict kind of your future. If you check your natal chart, you can do the same for your child, and you can kind of see how, like, what may happen within this year or what's to come. I mean, you may not know exactly how your child would be when they're an adult, but a few planets could, like certain planets like have Saturn, which kind of returns within 29 years. So you can predict when they'll evolve into a certain type within 29 years. But it's not a lot of planets, but you can definitely predict something about them for their future.
Okay, that's interesting. That's a funny one. Can astrology predict winning the lottery?
Yes.
Really?
Definitely. Or there's a higher chance of winning the lottery. So there's a chance I could. There are 12 houses within astrology.
Yes.
Like there are 12 planets. So you get the first house to the 12th house. So basically, I could explain all those houses, but to just like summarize it, there's the 8th house. If you have Jupiter, your lucky planet of abundance, placed in the 12th house, which rules inheritance, it rules other people's money, literally.
Okay.
It rules sudden transformation.
Yes.
Like, if you have the planet Jupiter, if you're lucky and you check your natal chart and that's flowing through that house,
Mm-hmm.
you are likely to win the lottery. Or if you have any other planets within the 8th house since birth, like.
But like, how does it work? Is it just based on your luck and you guessing your numbers, or is there numbers that maybe just comes to you? That you'll
I
pick up?
think
Like,
if you just try it and like if you have those planets within that house, you are just more likely because it rules other people's money, inheritance. Like, it rules that. It rules other people's money. So
those
lottery
numbers.
can be a form.
Okay, so like those numbers will basically just come to you.
It could. Or you could just randomly play it one day and get very lucky,
okay.
compared to if you have planets, for example, in the 1st house, which rules identity. I mean, it's not the same.
Okay.
Another placement is your 2nd house, which rules material wealth and money. It's all about money. So if you have a planet in that house, the 2nd house, you could also win the lottery. There could be a chance.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Can astrology be trusted? Clearly, I mean that's
Yeah, I would say it can be, but there's so many different forms, and I'm only speaking of
The
Western. So some people may not see it in that way. I mean, you don't have to allow it to kind of take over your entire life for it to be trusted, because
do people tend to
Yes,
do that? Shift
you
towards
can
that?
get into that form of thinking, because like you're like, oh my word, this makes so much sense. Let me just check my chart every single day.
Yeah.
But I feel like, for example, the 8th house also rules death. So it's like, you don't want to question when someone you love is going to die. Like, let that go. Like,
Yes.
I think there's a time and a place. Yeah.
Yes. I agree. Can astrology predict love, divorce, and marriage?
Yes.
Can?
So there are certain planets within the houses. For example, if you have a few planets like Venus is the planet of love and beauty. If it happens to be transiting, which means a planet is kind of flowing through a house,
Yes.
maybe a certain year, you're likely to probably get engaged. So the 10th house, or the 7th house, which rules relationships. If you have Venus placed in that chart since birth, or if it travels there for this year, you're likely to either find love or get engaged or get married. Divorce, very strong planets like Saturn. Saturn's the planet of karma.
Okay.
So if you have Saturn in your 7th house, that could be like you could experience troubles within your relationships and conflicts. The same with Pluto. I have Pluto in my 7th house, which I'm very scared about.
Okay.
About power control and things like.
Is that your power control,
like
or is it somebody
with
else?
Pluto.
Power control around you.
Pluto's natal in my 7th, so it's like a lot of my transformation, a lot of my growth in life can be surrounding my relationships and my connections and business partners, or just connection
People?
with people.
Okay.
So yes, it could also be linked to separation and divorce and things.
Oh, wow.
Very scary, but
That
it's
is scary.
life. Yeah.
How does astrology affect personality?
So basically, how we were explaining, your sun sign is how you view your own personality, and your rising sign is how others view it.
Okay.
So that's basically.
So that is
the
astrology sort of
That's
affecting
basically
your
how
personality.
it affects it, to understand it better.
Ah,
Look at your rising to understand how others view you. It will be very interesting.
yes. Can astrology predictions be changed? So let's say somebody's future
Yes.
was aligned in a certain way. How can it be changed?
So there's, I'm sure everybody knows Mercury Gatorade, Mercury retrograde, but the meme is like Gatorade or something. Mercury in the microwave. I've seen those memes. So
Okay.
funny. But Mercury retrograde is where the planet Mercury, it seems like it's moving backwards, but it's not actually moving. Planets can't move backwards, but like scientifically, from a scientific point of view, it may look like it is. So then during those times, for example, things can happen again.
Yes.
Or what you expected to happen can be a bit different because the planets are moving differently. So like what Mercury retrograde's known for is like car accidents are likely to happen, like
So a freak accident, basically.
communication, like you may
Change the timeline? Type of thing?
you may be running late, or your email may not be delivered, or communication with people you care about may not be understood in the way that you meant it. So lots of arguments.
Yes.
Also, exes may come back during Mercury retrograde. It's very interesting, but it happens a few times a year.
Okay. Okay.
So yes, it can change. It can.
Again. Okay. It's good. I hope.
Yeah.
Because sometimes change could be for the better or for the worse.
Sometimes it may not feel good within that, because it happens probably a few, maybe like 2 weeks, or it may not feel good in the moment. For example, a breakup. You have an argument which leads to a breakup during Mercury retrograde, and you think, okay, this doesn't feel good, but sometimes it was just meant to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Can astrology change my life?
Definitely. It's definitely changed mine.
Okay.
I feel like I know a lot more about myself, more than I've ever known,
That's very important.
just based on my planets, and also who I'm, like people I've found out I was not connecting with in the past. I'll find out, okay, they have a planet that's conflicted with mine, and it all makes sense. I just wish it was not as kind of, a lot of people don't believe it. But more people are believing it now. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, it can definitely be life-changing if you know the time you were born, and that's accurate. It will make a lot of sense.
So that helps with your natal chart.
Yes, it helps to know your natal chart and your different houses and things.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I think last one, are astrology compatibility signs true? So like what I mentioned earlier about where they always say Leo and Gemini are compatible.
Yes.
Is that true?
Like, because you have so many placements within your natal chart, for example, on the surface for your rising, if your risings are the same, externally that can look like you guys are compatible, but then your moon signs can be opposing, like Leo and Aquarius. If I were to have a Leo moon and we dated or whatever, it will not be compatible because our emotions literally clash. Or it could work out in some way. Yes. But I mean,
as long as one is more understanding.
Yes, the most accurate form of kind of the synastry or love within astrology is to go online and type in synastry chart, and then there'll be a few options. You should go for like the first option where it says synastry chart. Go on there, type in your date of birth, your city, and things, and your name, and then whoever you admiring or dating, or even a friend, and you can check your compatibility and where you may be clashing or where you'll really connect. It's so interesting. Like I did that with Jared, well, my boyfriend, and wow, like it's crazy because it makes so much sense. Like it's crazy.
So what is that synastry?
Synastry chart.
How do you spell it?
So
Sorry.
Wait, how do you spell synastry? It's like SYNNASTRY, I think. Oh my gosh, guys.
We'll definitely Google this after the episode. Okay, so synastry chart.
Yes,
Okay.
and you'll literally, it will basically say person A, person A's moon is compatible with person B's moon, and it explain why.
Okay.
And then other things like your Mars. Mars is your driving force. So how do you guys connect with that with your different placements? It's crazy, guys. Do it.
Okay.
Sometimes if you believe in it, it could even be a partner from a past life. Like if you believe in soulmates and twin souls, like you can find that out on your synastry chart. Like
I think I'm gonna definitely check out my synastry chart.
Yeah.
No, that sounds interesting. So we actually learned quite a bit on the Western astrology.
Yes.
And just touched on the planets, a bit of the houses that you've mentioned. As well as what the sun, moon, rising. Yes, I think, if there's anything else, I think for the viewers at home, please add it in the comments. Maybe there's questions that you have within this episode from what you've learned. Maybe we can bring Caylin back on to answer those questions, because astrology, it's something that looks like we can talk about for days.
It's so broad, and
it really
you'll
is.
never
It really is.
kind of educate yourself about astrology and feel like, okay, I know everything, because it's always expanding. And there's just different avenues as well, so you'll never know enough. It's just the same way you're navigating life, that's how you navigate astrology. Yeah,
I like that. Guys, until next time.
bye.
Peace.